So I just got off a podcast with NPR's This Old House radio hour, and we talked about everything there is to talk about for hard water and what it does to your home and your home's water fixtures, as well as maybe why it causes your soap not to feel as soapy as it should. But we had a good time talking to them, and I can't wait for it to air. But let's get after it.
Surprisingly, it affects most homes in America and quietly damages everything from your pipes to your appliances. Today, Tucker Yarborough of Yarborough & Sons Plumbing in Blanchard, Oklahoma, joins us to explain what hard water is, why it's such a problem, and what you can do to fix it. So, Tucker, give us a 101. What is hard water exactly?
I'll spare you the chemistry and the deep science of it all, but
appreciated.
Yeah. So hard water is nothing more than minerals, suspended in water. And how we get hard water in the U.S., and especially here in Oklahoma, because that's where I can talk as an expert specifically. But across the U.S., everybody has hard water, and the reason being is whenever you have basically acid rain hit exposed limestone or chalk deposits or even clay deposits, it's going to pick up that lime, meaning calcium, and or the magnesium, and take it to the groundwater source. And so that mineral gets suspended in the water, and it's pretty difficult to remove in large scale water treatment plants. However, whenever it gets to your house, it does start to cause some problems in your internal plumbing.
It'll shorten the life of the faucets and your shower heads specifically, but then also kind of a nuisance thing is, I'm sure you've had the experience of running a dishwasher and then you take it out and there's still those like water spots all over it. Well, those water spots are again the leftover residue from the mineral deposits that the water's carrying.
If you're not doing a chemical test and you're not testing your water, what are the other ways you can really tell if you have hard water?
Telltale sign number one that you have hard water is your faucets and your fixtures will start to have like kind of that white crusty formation start to appear. That white crusty kind of deposit that's left on all your fixtures is actually the calcium and magnesium that's being left behind from your water as it's exiting the fixture. And so that's telltale sign number one. Number two is you're losing water pressure faster than, like, say you just moved into this house and over time you're starting to notice that you're losing water pressure. Well, that's because those fixtures are getting stopped up by that deposit just internal to the plumbing fixture itself.
I think the most I've encounters I've had with hard water is you can really tell when you're showering. Little bit different. The soap doesn't quite suds up the same. Your hair doesn't quite feel the same afterwards.
You for sure can tell if you're showering in treated water versus hard water, because it's like I don't know how to put it other than hard water feels almost more slippery.
Yes.
And again, spare the science of it all, but it's because whenever soap interacts with water, soap is a surfactant, and all that means is it just makes water feel more wet. Well, whenever you have calcium and magnesium suspended in that water, there's less room for that surfactant to interact with the water. And so you're actually just, kind of sloshing around the soap rather than it actually sudsing up and allowing you to kind of dissolve more of that soap in the water because it's already got minerals suspended in it.
Yeah.
You're going to notice a big time, especially in like how long it takes you to rinse specifically like shampoo out of your hair. In, treated water, it's going to come out a whole lot faster than in hard water. And again, it's because there's not as much room for solubility in hard water as there is in treated water.
That's so interesting. Yeah, you really do feel like you're rinsing and you're still feeling like the product is on you, but it clearly shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a whole house water treatment. What are really the ways you can get rid of hard water?
It's kind of like buying a car, right? There's 1,000 different ways to get from point A to point B. If we're just wanting to solve our shower to feel correct, they sell, there are shower heads from pretty much every major manufacturer under the sun that sell like point of use water treatment solutions for a shower head. And it will be good for up to, 1,000 showers or something like that.
Wow.
Where it will be stripping, those minerals out of the water. And basically it just has a filter inside of the neck of the fixture that's just filtering out that calcium and magnesium as it can. But, it's a small filter, so it's only going to last a certain amount of time. So you're going to have to be comfortable taking that fixture off and changing the filters on it and things like that.
Okay.
The next step up is if you're like looking for like an under sink solution just for your drinking water, there's a reverse osmosis system that you can mount pretty much under any sink. I mean, it takes up probably no more room than...
I'm thinking like a big cereal box. Is that about right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it mounts right there next to like all of the P-traps and all the underworkings of your sink. Mm-hmm. And that right there would solve hard water right there at the sink. And you could also hook a dishwasher up to that as well. But if you were after a whole home solution and you said, Tucker, budget's no problem, we're ready to rock and roll with this, then at that point I would say, okay, we need to do, it's basically a 2-phase water treatment solution. It's a water softener, which is a salt softener with a carbon tank. And so we have those two things. And that carbon tank is literally just a carbon filter. And then we run it through a saltwater softener as well. And that saltwater strips the calcium and magnesium out as well. And those basically you'd fill up, depending on how many people are in the house. Like if you have a household of 3-4 people, you could have that tank, last probably a quarter, so 3 months or so before you have to add more salt to it.
Okay.
And those carbon tanks are good for about a year on the carbon filtering for those. And so about once a year, you'd change that carbon filter, and then 4 times a year, you'd add salt to your softener. And that right there is going to be a whole home solution where in every shower head, the dishwasher, every sink, everywhere is getting treated soft water. And so you're not going to have to worry about those calcium deposits or the magnesium being left behind, leaving that, kind of unsightly, white, crusty, and also not having water spots all over your dishes or not being able to rinse the shampoo out of your hair.
Got it.
The carbon tank and a water softener solution, that's going to cost, like if we were coming in and we were adding one to a house, that would be somewhere around $4,000 to $6,000, depending on access to water lines, things like that, and into the inlet side. Typically, we'll see water softener solutions last somewhere between 12 to 15 years. It's about the same as a water heater itself, but the benefits that you get from not having to deal with the hard water nuisance is kind of the other side of it. Because bags of salt, gosh, it's been a while since I bought a bag of salt, but I think you can get a 40-pound bag of salt for like 30 or 40 bucks. And so just a pretty low cost solution. Those carbon filters, I think, are $50 or $60 as well. And it's really DIY friendly. That's not something you'd have to call a plumber out to add salt or change the filter. Whenever the plumber installs that in your house, they should walk you through how to change those and how to add salt because any homeowner is capable of doing those. And so I think that would be something that they could do that could also make just a huge impact on just quality of life and living in your house. I tell my wife all the time is we're going to stay home this weekend and enjoy our mortgage. And so we spend entirely too much time at home not to enjoy the fixtures and the things that we have in the house. And that's one thing that was a huge improvement for us whenever we built our house. Hard water can cause a water heater to die much sooner than it probably should. Right now in the industry, we're kind of seeing average lifespans of tank style and tankless style water heaters be somewhere around 12 to 15-ish years. And the longer you let hard water run through it, the less that lifespan is. And something I tell homeowners a lot is whenever you're looking at like the warranty of a product. The warranty of a product is there because that's how long the manufacturer is confident that they can say this thing is going to run the way that it wants to run. And the average warranty on a water heater that we're seeing is between 5 and 8 years. And so there's some math that's going on in the background. They've got their army of actuaries doing the risk assessment on, okay, how long can we actually warranty this product? And because of how just ubiquitous of a problem hard water is across the US, 5 to 8 years seems to be that number that these water heater manufacturers are putting on it because there aren't water treatment solutions in every home. If there's a water treatment solution in every home, you could have a water heater last 15 to 20 years, no problem. But the reality is most homes don't have a water treatment solution in their house. And because of that, they end up with a bunch of calcium deposits and magnesium deposits in that water heater. And kind of put numbers to it, whenever you go to remove a water heater that's been running on hard water, that's been running for 10 years or so, that water heater is going to weigh like 60 pounds more than what it probably did the day that it was installed because of how much rock and sediment that is like just, basically we've made gravel at the bottom of your water heater. If you're after just general hardness, you can get a water testing kit from any hardware store and it'll have the instructions on how to do it and what to actually walk through. But if you're curious about like what minerals are actually present, what we should be pulling out, all that, that's when a professional gets involved because then they'll send it off to a true water treatment like company and they'll do a full-blown report on, hey, here's what's present in the water, here's what we need to do, X, Y, and Z.
But if you're just curious about water, like just general water hardness, a DIY solution works perfectly fine.
Could work. Okay.
Yeah.
Tucker, we appreciate this information so much. This is absolutely fantastic. We're glad you were able to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be on and thanks for having me.
Yarborough